Picture this. Members of Congress burst through the doors of a closed committee room, storming past reporters in the hallway. They are visibly angry, throwing around phrases like fake hearing and White House cover-up to anyone holding a microphone. The subject driving these lawmakers out of the room was the handling of the highly controversial Jeffrey Epstein files. This mass exit was a rare break in what had been a remarkably unified congressional effort to force government transparency. This animation shows the scale of the problem. Late last year, Congress passed a law requiring the Department of Justice to publish its Epstein files. The DOJ dumped millions of pages, but as you can see, key sections were hidden behind thick black redaction bars. Lawmakers from across the political spectrum were furious. Both Republicans and Democrats argued the DOJ was deliberately and inappropriately withholding crucial evidence. To force the issue, Republican Chairman James Comer issued a formal subpoena demanding that Attorney General Pam Bondi testify before the House Oversight Committee. With the subpoena issued, the stage was set for a high-stakes confrontation over exactly what the executive branch was keeping under wraps. But when the day arrived, the cameras weren't rolling. Instead of a televised hearing under oath, the testimony was moved to a private, closed-door briefing. Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the second highest-ranking official in the Justice Department, arrived on Capitol Hill for this private, unsworn session. Less than an hour into the meeting, the fragile process completely broke down. A group of House Democrats walked out in protest. Representative Maxwell Frost and his colleagues laid out their specific procedural grievances. Bondi refused to honor the subpoena, she offered no opening statement, and crucially, she wasn't under oath. The exiting lawmakers told the press that the closed-door format acted as an institutional shield, designed specifically to protect the DOJ from answering hard questions on the record. Inside the room, the tension boiled over into a raw, unfiltered verbal confrontation between Chairman Comer and Democratic Representative Summer Lee. Lee grilled Comer directly. She demanded to know if the chairman would initiate proceedings to hold Bondi in contempt of Congress for refusing to testify publicly. Contempt of Congress is a legal mechanism the legislature uses to formally charge someone with obstructing its work, serving as a primary enforcement weapon against the executive branch. Comer completely bypassed standard political decorum. He publicly confirmed to the press that rather than answering Lee's question, he told the Democrats they were bitching and wasting everyone's time. Bondi backed Comer up, defending her own actions by claiming the walkout was pure political theater, orchestrated simply because the lawmakers were upset that cameras weren't allowed inside the room. This caustic exchange exposes exactly how radioactive and deeply personal the fight over these files had become within the halls of Washington. Despite the toxic environment inside that briefing room, the immense political pressure campaign actually yielded a massive legislative victory. The transparency movement culminated in a sweeping, bipartisan effort known as the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which rapidly cleared both the House and the Senate with overwhelming majorities. This animation illustrates the strict legal mechanism of the new act. It mandates the total release of all unredacted investigation materials within exactly 30 days. That 30-day clock became an official reality when President Trump signed the act into law on November 19th. So, looking back at the chaos in the Capitol, was the walkout a necessary stand to demand sworn accountability, or was it merely the political theater Comer claimed it was? Regardless of the broken decorum and the expletives thrown around, the intense political friction generated that morning resulted in a specific, time-bound legal requirement for total transparency.